Yes, guys, welcome to Stretford Paddock. Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 2, down under in Perth, in what was a very wet and windy occasion. Our last-minute goal meant that it wasn't another win for United. It was, in fact, an equaliser. So it was 2-2. We finished with a draw. I'm with Jordan. My name is Joe. Any questions or comments, get in the chat, and we'll talk about that game. What did you make of it, Jordan?
It's disappointing because, obviously, De Gea should have come and claimed that cross. Mm-hmm. And it was the last kick, head, whatever you want to call it, of the game.
Yeah.
There were some really good, really positive moments in there. Of course, we saw the positions that we see Marcus Rashford taking up, Jadon Sancho taking up. They're in dangerous areas, and especially for the second goal, he mishit it, Rashford, but he had to be in that position to mishit it. And I was actually very pleased with how the forwards played. I was actually very happy with how they performed, especially the first goal that we scored, the fantastic interplay, Shaw doing the overlap, Rashford seeing him, Sancho being in a very dangerous position. I was very happy with the first goal. I thought it was beautiful. That was probably my second favourite goal after the obvious first one against Palace, where we had so much interchange. It was amazing. Again, disappointing, but it's disappointing again.
Yeah, disappointing.
You know, I can't word it anymore. I can't word it anymore other than the fact that it's disappointing. Because
So essentially, the full-strength team, well, what we cast as kind of a full-strength team, played for 60 minutes before Ten Hag made loads of changes. In that game where we did have the likes of Bruno and we had our defenders on like Maguire, that 60 minutes was a good game of football. Yeah, we shouldn't have let them score like they did, and we should have closed it down a bit more and not let the shot get away. But it happened. So we have to look at what the advantages are that we take away from the game and what we take away from the game in terms of the positives, but also looking at maybe the negatives. Because that team will be the one or thereabouts that starts the game, the first Premier League game against Brighton. I think the front three were looking really nice and gelling together. Abdul on the watch-along made a point that if someone gets injured, if someone isn't up for it and we need to sort of change, we don't really have, if Ronaldo doesn't stay, anyone in the youth that is stepping up and saying, actually, I'm here. Give me a shot. What do you think about that?
I think he has to trust him, and we've not really seen a lot of, we've seen the guys like Mejbri, like Zidane. They've had sniffs here and there in the past before, but we've not really seen all the other lads from the youth system who really we have to be thinking about giving him a chance when there's so much uncertainty about Ronaldo, and in my opinion, I think he will leave because he don't want to play Europa League football. It's as simple as that. That means you've only got Tony Martial as a number 9, and he's played well this pre-season, but again, you can't judge him off a pre-season fully because the past 18 months to 2 years, he was pants. But NHS Martial was fantastic in lockdown. He was amazing. Yeah. I don't want to say he fooled us into thinking he could be our number 9, but he was very good then, and then fans came back and he just sort of regressed back to the old Martial that we got annoyed at. Especially in the forward areas, we looked good today, but the problem is that depth. I don't think Ahmad's up to scratch yet. I think he should probably go out on loan again. Marcus Rashford needs to hit form, and if he doesn't, it's going to be another very worrying season for him, I think, especially on the left-hand side. He should be playing on the left-hand side. No manager should be playing him on the right. Same with Sancho on the left. Play him in the right positions, and they should cook. They should be hitting form. Don't play him out of position because that was silly. The whole point of we saw Ollie playing him on the right, we saw Rangnick playing him as in Rashford playing on the right hand side. Just don't do it because he's not very good over there. But we just need more depth. We do need more depth.
Yeah, the lack of depth is insane.
It's natural.
Matt Bow was saying what I think I completely agree with. It was a fair result, in my opinion, and that was Mark, and I completely agree with him. A lot of talk about De Gea's certain mistakes or De Gea's lack of control in the box. The last touch of the game was the equaliser. Then it was it. So we literally had a win in our grasp, but it just sort of went away. What do you think about David De Gea? We mentioned him at the start of the show that he is the man for the job, but there is certain things in his, in his game that he can improve on.
I was actually quite happy with how he's been performing in pre-season. Like the fact that he's been a bit more confident in how he comes out more. He's been doing a lot more sweeping, but again today was just really frustrating in the sense that before we conceded the equaliser with the last header of the game, there was times where he just looked a little bit uncertain when there were crosses coming from corners. He just looked a little bit uncertain, and maybe he's still not got that confidence in terms of going out and trying to command his box, which, considering he's been Manchester United's number one for a good 10, 11 years now, it's quite worrying now, even at his age, that he's still not very confident in terms of commanding his box. The stuff that we have seen when he's been sweeping looks good. I'm happy to see the fact that he's actually coming out and being a bit more confident in terms of how he's helping the back four, how he's running out and rushing out and putting pressure on balls, should we say. But it was really a worry, the fact that it happened before in the game and we conceded the equaliser off a corner. And teams will be looking at that thinking, well, De Gea's not confident at all coming off his line, even if there's a mild bit of pressure on him. You stick one guy on him and he looks like he's out of place. He wasn't confident coming off his line, and what happened? Callum Chambers scored a header and equalised. It was lucky the fact that this game meant nothing. It was just a run around. It's getting people's fitness up. Yes, we've not lost a game yet in pre-season, which is good, but you need to iron them out now because the season is fast approaching. You have to iron those problems out now. Don't wait till you're like 5 or 6 games to the season to then do the same mistake over and over again, because teams will just take advantage every single game.
The first goal we saw, we're getting a little bit of slow motion now of the goal, was a wonderful link-up play between Rashford and Shaw, and then that beautiful cross that Sancho finishes delightfully. It's those little moments, those link-up plays where you think to yourself, we've not seen that for a while. We've not seen people gel down the wing for a while. You know, that beautiful little link-up play between your wing backs and your attackers that just causes mayhem for a defence. So hard to defend if they get it spot on. That coming into the game is very positive in it, and you just want more of it. Shaw he's good at that. He's good at those moments. Delo needs to see more from him if he's going to be starting.
He is going to be starting though, when you have to
think
so. when you've got Wan-Bissaka who is low on confidence, he seems to not have a great ability in terms of keeping the ball, having an eye for a pass. Dalot, credit to him, he's very good in those areas in the attacking third. Again, he needs to do more work defensively, but I think in this moment in time it will be Dalot and Luke Shaw, because I don't think we've seen enough of Tyrone Malacia yet. He's a new sign and he's working to Ten Hag's new system, etc., as everyone is, but I don't think, based off of what we've seen so far, that he will be a guaranteed starter. We saw Alex Telles playing as a 6 today, so God knows what Ten Hag might be thinking with him, because he's played centre half.
Why do you think he did that? Why do you think he tell us?
I think it was probably due to rotation and the fact that we had pretty much a whole new 10 out apart from De Gea.
Yeah.
And he just needed to fill a position. Maybe he's gone, just sit in there for 20 minutes and do a job, which is fair enough. But we have seen him also play centre half as a 2, not as a 3. Naturally, where you'd think if he was going to play centre half, he'd be left side of a 3. But we saw him as a 2. We saw him as a left back. We saw him as a DM. Maybe he'll be an underrated member of the squad this season in terms of where he can play different areas.
Let's get through some of your comments. Thank you very much for watching. Give this video a like if you wouldn't mind. So just smash that like button. I want to read out what you're saying. Dirty Street Crew said Rashford huffed and puffed at times. He looked like he was letting his head drop and walking back into his old game. What do you think of Rashford today? He was in the build-up for the first goal. Real, incredible standout moments, but he played a good game.
He was okay, and I'm happy with the fact that he found himself in dangerous positions, because naturally they will come good. If he keeps getting himself into those positions, he might not miss-hit a ball. He might not let the ball hit his heel when he's running. Well, he didn't let it, but it happened anyway. Yeah. If he keeps continuing to get in those positions, we'll see him come good. But again, it's the same question about how much time can you give him? How many chances can you give him to a point where he has to get dropped for a consistent amount of time? Yeah. And he's been talking, we saw him talking a couple of weeks ago how good he feels right now in terms of the fact he's not really had a full pre-season for a few years now. Mm-hmm. He is involved, he's getting into those areas, of course. It was a nice little overlapping pass for Luke Shaw. It was only 5 yards, but it needs to happen. He got himself in the position for the second goal where he did miss-hit it, but it come off Matty Cash. We have to be patient with him, but again, it's a difficult one to determine with Marcus Rashford, because we know how good he is. He's had a bad sort of 18 months to 2 years. How much more time can we give him? Yeah. And I want to give him all the time in the world, because I love him as a player when he's on form, but how much time can you give him?
Steve Austin said it must be said that Harry Maguire played well today.
He did.
I think he did play well.
I think he played very well, yeah. He had a couple of nice moments where you'd have thought maybe last season he would have been completely out of it. But again, the recovery to block, I think it was one of the crosses when I think it was Buendia got down the byline. He did very well to get there. His vision from centre-half, hitting balls across to your fullbacks in advanced attacking positions or your wingers. Again, he was very good. There was obviously a lot of question marks whether he'd be able to play in such a high line under Erik ten Hag. He played in a high line anyway and he got exposed because of his lack of pace, but there are a lot of questions whether he can play in that high line. But he had a good game today, despite the fact we did concede 2 goals. He did have a good game.
Yeah. Ten Hag's on the screen now. What do you think he takes away from this game? This game, the managers get off with these moments before the season, and as well as treating fans around the world to seeing matches like that in front of them, they can learn little bits. I know there's not a competitive element as much, but you can learn stuff. So what has Ten Hag kind of learned today?
I think the main thing is transitions need to be quicker.
Yeah.
I think we could have caught Aston Villa out a lot better in attacking areas, especially in the counter-attack, if transitions were quicker. I think there was one point that sticks in my mind when Fred, I think he won the ball in midfield and he took three or four passes and he dilly-dallied for a while and he didn't get the ball out. And I think from this game especially, he's probably going to have to try and drill it into the players that they need to iron these mistakes out. Don't dilly-dally on the ball. You've won the ball back, put your head up, 1-2 touches max, and then get it away. Mm-hmm. The transitions need to be quicker if we're going to hurt teams on the counter-attack. And we're good at counter-attacking, but we're not great. So they have to learn to just iron the mistakes out where they take 1, 2, 3, too many touches. Be quicker with it. Release the ball. That's how we scored the first goal. Yeah. Quick transition, quick interplay between the players. Sancho found himself in a good position. It was a good finish between Dinier's legs,
Yeah, thank you very much for your super chat, Guitar Man 84. He said, "What on earth is up?" And I would agree with you on this. With Varane, looks 1/3 of the defender we bought from Madrid. He's slow, leggy, and in this pre-season, Harry Maguire actually looks better than him. I mean, the Maguire that we saw last season couldn't be worse, but that Varane, he is looking like a bit off the mark in a way in certain things he does.
He looks a bit off, doesn't he?
Sluggish is a good word that we
that's probably the best adjective to describe what he's looking like right now. Of course, he's not been very lucky with injuries. I don't think he played more than 4 games in a row. It might even be 3 games last season in a row because he's been struggling with injury and he's adapting. Again, I don't want to give him excuses in a sense that he's adapting to a different style of football. We were expecting him. There was talk last summer when he came in that him and Maguire would be the best partnership in the Premier League. Yeah. Maguire had a, let's be honest, awful season individually. Varane was consistently struggling with injuries. Mm-hmm. So he's still not up to scratch, which is worrying because he's been here over a year now and he's still not up to scratch. And maybe at Madrid, obviously you had that leader in Sergio Ramos, of course. He's one of the best centre-halves about. He has been for the past sort of 10, 15 years. And he was doing the sort of dirty work. I think now at United, he's been looked at as the guy to be what Ramos was, and I don't think that he might be, I want to say comfortable with it, but it sounds like a really terrible excuse as to why he's not been great.
The comments about Varane, if Varane was reading this now, it's like, get your money back for Varane ASAP. Stephen has said Varane has been a big letdown, don't see it changing. Whatever case is, get rid of Varane ASAP, cash him out. Wow.
You can't blame the viewers for what they feel about Varane because we've all watched the same game and everybody will make their opinions about it, but he hasn't been up to scratch. He's not been good enough. It's as simple as that. It was a poor season last year, but again, he's been unlucky with injuries. If he can get a consistent run, then maybe we'll see something different. Maybe we'll see the centre-half that we saw at Real Madrid, but there's still questions about who our best centre-half partnership is, on top of Lisandro Martinez coming in. So he could even be playing centre-half, he could be playing full-back, he could be playing DM. Nobody knows at this point. So I'd like to know from you lot what you think the best centre-half partnership is we have right now in terms of let's count Martinez. What is the best centre-half partnership? Because for me, it's probably right now Maguire and Lindelof, and we've not seen Martinez yet. Right. I'd argue when Eric Bailly's fully fit, it'd be Eric Bailly, but Varane should be in that conversation. He should be there naturally. He should be. But what do you think?
Yeah, get involved. I think Maguire's always going to start. So it just depends what they're going to do with Martinez. I think they're going to play Martinez in what we think might be that centre defensive midfield role, where he's quick, aggressive, gets stuck in. and helps, the attacking players like Bruno and Eriksen, and when Eriksen starts, or is he going to be a new partnership to Maguire? And if so, then we've paid good money for him. Varane at the minute is just not. He's just injury prone. So I want to see Martinez pretty soon. I hope he joins the United squad. It's the final game in Perth. So I assume, this is just guessing, that they'll soon fly back to Manchester for a couple of days. Our next game is a week today at 12:45 against Atletico Madrid in Norway. So I assume they'll get back. Hopefully he meets the team. Eriksen gets amongst it as well. And we take a different squad out to Norway. So maybe we might see our future centre-back partnership in that Atletico Madrid game. Yeah. Is that going to be the case? A lot of people, are saying Martinez and Maguire. Martinez will be centre-back. People are already pushing out Varane a bit. Martinez might be defensive mid to cover the two centre-halves. So it's interesting. The final one I want to mention is someone mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo. Where is he? Well, an hour ago, on when United were actually playing, Ronaldo posts a gym pic.
A workout picture.
Picture. We assume they are the United shorts that he's got on. There's nothing more, nothing less about that. But everything's done for a reason. He is one of the most followed man he's the most followed person on Instagram history, isn't he? Twitter, he's got 100 million followers. He knows United are playing. Why is he posting it? I don't know. There's funny games. There's funny games.
It's frustrating, isn't it? Because you don't know why he's posted that at the exact same time.
Yeah, we're currently playing.
You can take it in whatever opinion you want. Is he putting it out to clubs saying, look, I'm still fit, I'm 37, I'm in the best shape of my life? Is he posting that to make other clubs think, hey, I'm still here, I'm in good nick? Or is he posting it with the United shorts on? We're assuming the United shorts because they look like last season's colours, third kit. Is he posting that to say, "Oh, lads, I'm still here. I'm keeping myself in good nick for next season"?
Come get me.
Nobody knows. No, literally, only he knows, and it's frustrating because we want to know. We want to know why he's posted that, but everybody's got their opinion about it. Me, I think he leaves. He's not going to play. He's not going to play Europa League football. No, he really isn't.
He isn't. He's going to leave. This has been the review of what was a decent game of football. Man United 2, Aston Villa 2. Jordan, where can people find you?
JD Simpson 98 on Twitter.
And if you want to wait till the Stretford Paddock Down Under boys, Jay and McCullough send some video back, go and watch me and Joe Smith in the Sloppy Joe's podcast, and Ethan as well. Sorry, Ethan, producer.
Nice little plug there. Nice.
Go and watch it. We just chat a load of shit. Thank you very much, Jordan. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.